Welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, as we take an inside look at Nicholls State University hoops. Today's program is presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, the official sports medicine provider of Nicholls Athletics. Colonel Basketball Weekly is also sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. Hello and welcome to Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. After seeing their 7-game winning streak snapped at Stephen F. Austin, the Nicholls women's basketball team was looking to keep their championship hopes alive, visiting New Orleans on Thursday night. Nicholls had a chance to move into first place last Saturday at SFA, but the Colonels were unable to hold on to an early second-half lead. In order to keep pace, Nicholls with the Lady Jacks and second-place Lamar, the Colonels would have to defeat a dangerous UNO team. Despite a poor record, the Lady Privateers had won 2 of their previous 5 games and almost completed a second-half comeback at Central Arkansas during that same span. Nicholls had defeated UNO in Thibodaux in a low-scoring affair in January here in Thibodaux. Here we go to Lakefront Arena. UNO takes an early 5-point lead. Working the ball around the perimeter, Danielle Davis connects on the 3. She had 12 points and 5 assists. Taylor Morrison, big off the bench for Nicholls. The steal and the layup coming up here makes it 11-8 UNO. The Pine provided 38 points for the Red and Gray, including 16 for Morrison. She had 3 of the team's 15 steals. New Orleans native Amani White, 13 of her 16 points came in the first half. She's been outstanding since coming back from injury. That 3-ball gave Nicholls a 1-point advantage. UNO's Randy Brown, their leading scorer. Colonels did a great job containing her the first matchup this year. She goes off in this one. Bonus ball there helps put UNO up by 2. She scored 27. The onslaught from Brown continues early second half. UNO shot 43%. The hook shot from Brown, and Nicholls is down 7 with 17 to go. They come roaring back, tying it up on this Tia Charles step-back jumper. She had 9 points. We went back and forth, 17 lead changes. Nicholls down 2 now. Charles off the mark. Hope Pulowski tracks it down, and Morrison connects on the tray. She carried the Colonels in the second half with 11 points. Under 4 minutes to go now. Colonels up 3. However, UNO's Danielle Davis answered with a free throw before draining a 3-pointer, putting the Lady Privateers ahead. Inside a minute 30, Nicholls down 3. Jenny Nash with the offensive board. Marina Lilly's lay-in makes it a 1-point affair. Nash, the Colonels' leading scorer, was held to 2 points. Brown hit another jumper to put UNO back in the lead. On the Colonels' next 2 possessions, they would come up empty on 3-point attempts. New Orleans added 2 free throws down the stretch as Nicholls falls 68-63. The Colonels shot just 34% as a team. They saw their 5-game winning streak in the series over at New Orleans come to an end as well, and it also put a regular season championship virtually out of reach. Nicholls will look to snap its 2-game skid and remain in 3rd place in the Southland Conference standings as they visited McNeese State on Saturday. The Cowgirls entered the contest nipping at the Colonels' heels after picking apart Lamar 2 days before. Out to Burton Coliseum in Lake Charles. This one aired on ESPN3. Jenny Nash didn't take long to bounce back. The Southland's most lethal 3-point shooter knocks one down here. Nicholls down 8-6. Nash hit a trifecta of threes. McNeese's Allison Baggett counters. She scored 11. Colonels trailed by as many as 6 in the opening 10 minutes. Amber Donez went off for 17 points for the Cowgirls. McNeese in danger of being swept by the Colonels in the regular season series for the 3rd straight year. They came out firing. Donez's tray stretches a lead to a half dozen at the 12-minute mark. But Nicholls jumped in front 3 minutes later. Back and forth we went from there. Jovana Mandic with her only bucket put Nicholls within 1 about a minute before the break. Nash had 6 assists, but a pair of threes by Hannah Cupid stretched the Colonel deficit to 7 heading into halftime. These were the only 2 shots that Cupid hit, but they fueled McNeese to a 14-3 run that carried over after the intermission. Nicholls would go down by 13 points with 17 minutes left. This one far from over, though. Marina Lilly, 10 points and 6 rebounds off the bench. The deficit is down to 9 with 16 to go. Nash scored 23 in this one. She winds up with 49 points against McNeese this year. The offensive board and the putback here pulls Nicholls within 7 at the 14-minute mark. Nash registered 7 boards and 4 steals. However, less than 13 minutes to go, Talisha Boyd hits the bank shot. She was 2 points shy of a double-double. Nicholls down 11. They got to restart the rally, and boy, did they ever. Hope Pulowski with a steal as Nichols goes on a 17-1 run. In a 5-minute stretch, McNeese was held to a free throw. The lead swelled to 8 points on an Imani White three-pointer with 5 minutes to go. Imani with 9 points, 4 helpers, no turnovers. Shea Arnick picks up one of Nichols' 5 blocks on the day. She had 10 points and 8 boards. Cowgirls cut the deficit down to 1 with less than 2 to go, but Jenny Nash driving baseline and banking home a shot inside to give Nichols a 71-68 lead. Colonels go on to win 73-68. With the win, Nichols improving to 15-12 overall, 11-5 in conference. They match their program record for conference wins, and they remain in 3rd place in the standings. Frederica Haywood led McNeese with 13 points and 10 rebounds. 2 games left on the schedule. Nichols is in a position for at least one bye in the Southland Conference Tournament. Here are the Southland women's standings heading into the weekend. Stephen F. Austin has won 9 straight. They're still on top. Nichols fighting for a first-round tournament bye that comes with one of the top 4 spots. They are in 3rd place. Just 3 teams are just a game behind, so very tight right now. Houston Baptist would be the last team to qualify if the season ended today. Sam Houston State and New Orleans both still with a chance to go to Katy for the league tournament. Well, we spoke with Nichols head coach Doobie Plaisance following her team's victory in Lake Charles. She told us the Colonels weren't about to feel sorry for themselves going up against McNeese State.
Yeah, absolutely. And you took the words right out of my mouth, because we were not going to let this previous week define us. And it's not about us getting down, it's how we rebounded. And boy, did we rebound tonight.
What was the difference in this one?
We finally got that defensive disruptiveness back. We finally got that defensive energy back. And quite frankly, I think we just had enough. I think we licked our wounds for long enough, and I don't think it was an intentional thing, but it finally, something snapped right there when we called that press, because that was the turning point of the game. When we put the press on them and we just stretched our defense and said, this is what got us to this point. This defense is what put us in a position to be fighting for what we're fighting for today. God darn it, you play it for the rest of the game and you're going to win, and they certainly did.
You know, it looked like in the final 7-8 minutes of the game, McNeese just ran out of answers offensively. They just looked lost.
They did, and with our ability to, or what they did, our kids did, in terms of knowing the scout, knowing their player personnel, trying to make them take their weaknesses away from them, if you will. It was just a fantastic display of sticking to a scout, and I'm just so proud of our kids. I'm just so proud of our kids, because we were down, Mike. We were down, but you know, we bounced back. We bounced back. It's not about your mistakes. You know, you make a mistake, you paid the tuition, okay? But now you got to go learn the lesson, and I think we learned our lesson.
You put yourself in a position now, we're heading into the final week of the regular season. You could put yourself in another position to be within 2 wins of a conference championship. That's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And I think what's very important about that right now is that we stay focused on the day-to-day. Now, it's not going to go away. It's in the background. But what we have to do is in the moment, i.e. a practice or the 2 games we have coming up, in the moment, we have to be locked into that moment, because if we let the external things come in, that could distract us.
This has been a bounce back year in a number of ways for this team. Every obstacle that seems to come your way, you find a way to rise above it, and now down the home stretch, this is getting exciting.
And that's a credit to these kids. These kids, no matter what situation we've been faced in, from start to finish, from injuries to whatever you might have, they have never played the role of a victim. They've never really felt sorry for themselves, and they always figure out a way to come back together, grind it out, and do it for each other. And it's the unselfishness of these players that's really put us in this position. I am so blessed to have these kids.
Coach, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Mike, thank you.
Head coach of the Colonels, Doobie Plaisance, her team victorious here in Lake Charles. We'll be back with more coming up on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center at Thibodaux Regional, right after this.
In sports, you strive for first or best. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional is both. The region's first comprehensive sports medicine program with a team of the best sports medicine trained experts. You're serious about the game, we're serious about your safety. With advanced concussion testing technology and certified athletic trainers, we're keeping athletes safely in the game. Play hard, play to win. The Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional will help you play it safe.
Donnie, I'm in Rouse's at least 3 times a week, and I want the best prices every day.
Come on, Chef. Let's go shopping.
All right. There's got to be at least 1,000 items just on this one aisle.
At Rouse's, we stock more groceries than anyone else.
I can see that.
So what's with the tag?
Best price every day.
It's the Rouse's guarantee. You're getting our lowest price every day.
So when I see this tag,
You know you don't have to wait for a sale.
I can shop any day.
And get our best price every day. Rouse's. You're either local or you're not.
Well, we're all about the people that we care for.
At People's Health, we know that when it comes to health, what works is teamwork. Each People's Health Plan member has a team of talented professionals working together to coordinate care so our members can do what they love to do.
That's what we do. We're here for you with People's Health.
People's Health, your Medicare health team.
Back here with you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Down to the final week of the regular season, we've got you covered on the Colonel Sports Radio Network, presented by your local Super Chevy dealers. The women's basketball team plays host to Central Arkansas here in Thibodaux, 5 o'clock on Thursday, and then they visit southeastern Louisiana to round out the regular season on Saturday. You can listen to both games on KNSU 91.5 FM. Thursday's contest will air live online. You can watch it at Colonel's All Access through our website at GoColonels.com. Well, this is always a bittersweet time of year for the seniors, especially so for this year's women's basketball class, the most successful the program has ever known. But there's one thing that's eluded them, and they're out to finish what they started. Here's Beatrice Beard.
As the winningest senior class in Nichols women's basketball history prepares to be honored prior to Thursday night's home finale against Central Arkansas, they know they have unfinished business. The leaders of this team firmly believe this Colonel squad has what it takes to win a Southland Conference championship, and they'll settle for nothing less. Nichols is guided by a quartet of seniors, Shay Arnick, Jenny Nash, Shalita Ellis, and John Marie Guillory. They have had to overcome obstacles along the way, but with a conference crown within reach, it has made being a part of this program that much more rewarding.
It's meant a lot, you know, throughout my whole basketball career. I've had a lot of struggles, so just playing with Coach Doobie and her giving me a chance and opportunity to, you know, redeem myself and just give me a chance to play basketball on the next level, on Division I level, it's meant a lot. And I just, you know, wish her the best in the future when I'm gone, and I just hope that we can bring home the conference championship and more this year.
Arnett cracked the starting lineup in early January and has been a key contributor since, averaging double-digit points. Meanwhile, Nash has been the definition of consistency, while leading the team in scoring, rebounding, assists, steals, and blocks. While she'll serve as a graduate assistant next year, she knows the feeling on game day won't ever be the same.
There's nothing that feels quite like suiting up for a game with your teammates alongside of you. I can play in however many games, but I'm not going to get this year back with these girls, and so I think that's what I'm going to miss most, is playing alongside these girls in the games.
It's that vision of a family atmosphere that is the common thread amongst all four departing players. The support they have for and from one another is what helps keep them fighting. And they're not done yet. While this group of seniors has helped the program rewrite just about every record, they are still looking to claim that exclusive Southland title, knowing it will take a complete team effort to get there.
Being a captain this year and being a senior, I think on this great season when we're breaking records like this is really awesome, and being one of the leaders here and being somebody that's been under Doobie for so long, to be able to teach the younger girls or to maybe help them understand what she's saying is just great, because everybody's working really hard and we're really trying to achieve something that the school hasn't. So being a part of that is, you know, great, and every year we've broken records, and so I think that's awesome.
The level of leadership this team has is certainly reflected in their success. The senior class has given much to the program, and in return, it has given something to them.
This team has taught me is to really just focus in on the details of things. You know, some things that you might not think are important are usually always important, and so to focus on that, to really focus on school, and to focus on the things that are necessary for success, and not just success here, but success in life. This is the only place I've known for the last 4 years, and you know, at times I'm like, God, I want to go home, but at times I'm like, God, I want to be at Nichols with my friends and with my teammates and the people that I share the most of my time with, and it's going to be sad to leave.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. We appreciate it. Now, the Nichols men's basketball team hosts Central Arkansas on Thursday, closing out the regular season on Saturday at Southeastern Louisiana. You can hear both games on KQKI 95.3 FM. Thursday's home game with the Bears can be watched online at Colonel's All Access. Well, with just 5 regular season games left on the schedule, the Nichols men's basketball team was looking to make a late push for Southland Conference tournament seeding as they faced Northwestern State last Monday here in Thibodaux. The Red and Gray were trying to snap a 3-game skid while the Demons were heating up, having won 7 of 8. Coming into Stouffer Gym. NSU owned the number 2 scoring offense in the nation, but the Colonels were their equals in the first half. TJ Carpenter put up the first 8 points of the night on his way to a team-high 19-point effort, finishing here on the game's opening possession. The Demons' Jalen West put on a show, scoring 19 points with 9 assists. He becomes the all-time assist leader for Northwestern State off the Tajon Welcome block. West drills a 3. Colonels down 1 in the opening minute. West also had 6 boards and 4 steals. Zeke Woodley entered this game as the NCAA's second leading scorer, averaging almost 23 a night. He drops in the paint jumper here. Woodley would go off for 25 points, youngest Demon ever to surpass 1,000 career points. Colonels down 6. They were down 8 at the 14-minute mark, but go on a 7-0 run, capped by a Luka Camber bucket. Unfortunately, NSU scored 9 of the next 10, and the Colonels were in a hole once again. But Nichols goes on a spurt at the end of the half. A Marquise Nelson bonus ball would bring Nichols within 1 possession. The Colonels were 7 of 14 from beyond the arc in the opening half. They come all the way back. Liam Thomas hits from the corner in the closing seconds. We are square at 33 heading into the break. Thomas with a 12.7 rebound, 3-block performance. The run continued into the second half. The feed from Carpenter to Thomas puts Nichols up 37-34. This was some of the best basketball on both ends of the floor that the team had played all year. The lead is extended to 8 with 14 and a half minutes left as Sam McBeth cuts back door and Carpenter finds him all alone. McBeth scored 7, also had a career-high 14 rebounds, but my, did it fall apart here quickly as the Colonels ran out of steam. NSU scores the next 8 to tie it up. Woodley misses the bunny, but the stickback drops and we're knotted up at 43. NSU was machine-like in making Nichols pay for their mistakes, scoring 20 points off 13 turnovers. Deji Adekunle creates a steal. Trayvon Joseph cashes in. Nichols still very much in it with 9 minutes to play. Carpenter goes 4 of 7 from downtown. This tray makes it a 2-point deficit. That was the only long-distance make in 8 tries, though, in the second half of the Colonels. Northwestern State closed the game on a 44-14 run en route to their 4th consecutive win. Woodley with a 3-ball to push the Demon lead to 9. It would balloon to as much as 24. Nichols falling 79-57. Again, the Colonels led by 8 with 14 and a half minutes to go. It was fleeting. NSU improves to 16-10 overall, 11-4 in league. Nichols would look to recover on Saturday at McNeese State, who was a bit of a slide themselves. They had beaten up on Central Arkansas earlier on in the week, though, to recover. The Colonels were gunning for their 4th consecutive win against the Cowboys, including a double-digit victory earlier this year in Thibodaux. Now, Nichols would be even more shorthanded than usual. Their leading scorer, TJ Carpenter, missed this one to attend the funeral of his grandfather. The game was televised on ESPN Australia, allowing the team to highlight its multiple players hailing from the Pacific Rim. Back to Lake Charles. The Cowboys' Deshared Gidry, the only player in the nation, averaging over 17 points and 11 rebounds. He hits a 3 on McNeese's first possession. Luka Camber started in place of Carpenter, did not disappoint. A career-high 16 points, 4 bonus balls, and 11 tries. He scored 11 in 32 minutes. Sam McBeth and Liam Thomas from Sydney, Australia, put on a show for the TV audience back home, combining for 29 points, 17 rebounds, 6 assists, and 6 steals. They worked the give and go here with McBeth finishing. Nichols up 3 at the 11-minute mark. McNeese's Kevin Hardy put together a highlight reel of his own, a number of thunderous dunks, sparking a 12-0 run on his way to a 14-point, 11-rebound, 4 assist, 2-block, 5-steal performance. McBeth coming up here with a nice move and the finish with the offhand, but the Colonels still down 39-29 at the half. Former Colonel Keelan Garrett, now playing in his hometown, hits the early 3 in the second half. Nichols down 11 with 18 minutes to go, but the Colonels fought back with a 12-2 run to cut the deficit to a point. They hit 5 threes in the second half. McBeth connects here. He scored 15 on the afternoon. Then a steal by Jadante Fry and Richie Lewis with a great finish coming up here, plus the foul. It's a 1-possession game with about 16 to go. Another Camber tray at the 15-minute mark would bring Nichols within one. The score, 44-43. McNeese, though, would build the lead back up to 5. No matter, Camber would connect again, taking full advantage of his opportunity to start 6 ties and 5 lead changes in the second half. We would go to overtime. Neither team led by more than 2 through the first 4 minutes. Garrett's layup is the first score of the session. Moments before fouling out, Macbeth caps his day with a 3 to put Nichols ahead with 2:30 to go. But Matthew Moss with a tough finish at the rim plus a foul would put McNeese back in front here. The Cowboys scored 6 straight in the closing minutes to seal the victory. The Colonels now standing at 7-18 overall, 4-11 in conference. Liam Thomas earned a double-double with 14 points and 11 rebounds. Let's take a look at the Southland Conference men's basketball standings through this past weekend. Stephen F. Austin regained possession of first place. Sam Houston State fell to Texas A&M Corpus Christi on Saturday. Looks like the top 4 teams will stay in that fashion in one way or another. If the season had ended this weekend, Nichols would be the number 8 seed heading into next week's league tournament. But looking back on this past week, head coach J.P. Piper knows this team isn't far off from being a postseason threat.
Yeah, we were in both games. We're playing well in spurts. It's kind of a theme we've talked about throughout the year. We don't quite put 40 minutes together. McNeese was really good on the road and made just enough shots to get us. We had opportunities late in the game to make shots, and the ball just didn't go down. I thought we took good shots. I thought we competed. You look at the stat sheet, we're right there with them, what and what. So just a tough loss at McNeese, and you go back to the Northwestern game, and we didn't start out well. We got the game tied up by halftime, and we hung around for a while. I honestly believe Northwestern's a little bit better team than us. They separated by making shots, and we struggled to score the ball. Really became a little sluggish offensively. Having said all that, I still feel like this team is capable of winning any night. You look around the rest of the league at what's happening. Corpus beat Sam Houston. Houston Baptist played Stephen F. a lot closer than people expected. Those are teams we were right there with or that we beat. So we just got to get it right in Katy. We got a few more opportunities to fine-tune it, and then we got to go over to Katy and hopefully play our best basketball over there.
Yeah, there are 2 directions a team like this can go in right now. They can say, you know what, we're a play or 2 away, or they could say, you know what, we're giving our best shot right now and it's just not good enough. How do you feel this team feels right now?
I surprised morale was good today. The guys were smiling. We talked last night about how proud I was of their effort after the game. I didn't like some of the decisions we made, but for the most part, I thought we competed and we took good shots. So the last thing I said was, I'm proud of you tonight. Even though we lost the game, I'm proud of the effort. They responded, I think, by coming in here today with a good attitude. Morale is good. We fully expect to go try to win the game tomorrow night and think we have a chance to do that. So I think we're in a good place mentally. I think they understand how close they are. You just got to put it together, really in Katy, more importantly, than yesterday or last week. So we'll keep them working. We'll keep their heads pointed in the right direction. It's a good group of guys. They're going to continue to work for us.
All right, Coach, best of luck this final week before we head to Katy.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
Head coach of the Colonels, J.P. Piper. Folks, we'll be back with more here on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional in just a moment.
Back with you on Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Here's a look around Nichols Athletics with Joanna Ducree.
The Nichols State University athletics program dominated last week with the men's golf team as they claimed third at the Atchafalaya Intercollegiate last Tuesday, followed by the baseball team who had a 3-1 series win this weekend against the University of Utah. Hosting a tournament for the first time in decades, the Colonel golf team opened up the spring season in strong fashion at the Atchafalaya Ottawa Golf Course in nearby Patterson. Nichols finished the opening round in first place, but fell to fifth place at the end of the first day before rallying for a final round score of 304 to take third place at the 18th event. The Colonels will return to the links on Tuesday for the Sanford Intercollegiate in Hoover, Alabama. The golf team isn't the only Colonel club off to a fine start. The Nichols baseball team took 3 games of a 4-game set from Utah this past weekend to improve to 7-3 and 1 on the year.
Really good job by our pitching staff this weekend, man. They were all over the zone, attacking the zone, and very aggressive on the mound against a quality Pac-12 opponent in Utah. And my tip of the hat to them because they kept us in it when we weren't swinging very well.
The Cardinals started the series at Ray E. Didier Field in Thibodaux against the Utes on Friday and fell behind early in the game, but came back in the 5th inning with 3 runs. Tanner Vanderveer scored on an error to tie the game in the 8th, and Mark Frazier registered the game-winning hit in the 9th.
So we just need to shore up a few things. We need to make sure our pitching staff stays the same as they are. We need to make some plays like we are and continue to get better offensively.
In Saturday's doubleheader, Nichols took the lead in the first after Christian Carrera's double sent Justin Hall in for the score. The Colonels' offense slowed into the 6th when Mark Frazier's 2-run blast put Nichols up 3-0. Ryan Deems and Stuart Holmes held the Utes bat in check in a 3-1 victory. In the nightcap, Utah scored 2 unearned runs in the opening frame. Tanner Vanderveer registered a ground-out RBI in the 6th, but that was it, as Utah claimed their only win in this series.
Good job, and our guys got on base and they made some things happen. We made some really good defensive plays today and throughout the weekend. Tough moments, tough weather for our guys to prevail like they did was really big. We got some bats going. Our lefties had 7 hits out of our 11 today, and they were challenged this morning before we even started.
In Sunday's final, Seth Stevens and Gavin Webby delivered RBI extra base hits in the 2nd, while right-hander Justin Sinibaldi was silent in 7 innings of work as Nichols closed out the set with the 4-1 victory.
Because we got conference already next week and a tough Tulane opponent this weekend, and winning series is very important for the rest of the season.
The Colonels hit the road for the start of Southland Conference play with the 3-game series at Abilene Christian beginning on Friday at 6 o'clock. For Colonel Basketball Weekly, I'm Joanna Ducree.
Thanks so much, Joanna. Our Rouse's Student Athlete of the Week, baseball junior Mark Frazier, 8 for 15 with a home run and 4 RBIs in the win over Utah. That's going to do it for Colonel Basketball Weekly, presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional. Today's show has been presented by the Sports Medicine Center of Thibodaux Regional, the official sports medicine provider of Nichols Athletics. This program has also been sponsored by Rouse's Supermarkets. You're either local or you're not. And People's Health, your Medicare health team. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.